everybody. Welcome to another episode of motherfucking 302 Birds. My name is Dalton. I'm here joined by all the fellows from the podcast, and we have a very, very special guest I do want to welcome tonight. Alyssa, I do want to thank you for being a huge supporter of our show, and thank you for coming through to the show tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Oh, you're muted, Alyssa.
Dalton also muted. Dalton, say that one more time, homie.
I'm an Eagles fan, Alyssa.
She's muted.
Oh, boy.
Alyssa.
All right, welcome back to Alyssa.
We'll try to get her back. But we have a ton to talk about tonight. There's a ton of Philly sports going on. Real quick, I'm going to add Alyssa back in. Alyssa, how did you become an Eagles fan?
Since the McNabb days.
And anyway, you would be our first. Actually, we haven't done this in a while, but we do want to welcome Alyssa back to being our first ever of in the series. We haven't done it in a while, Jack, but Jack's weekly call-ins. So, sponsored by El Diablo Burritos. We do want to thank El Diablo for all the awesome things that they do for the Delaware community. Jack, why don't you tell them a little bit more about El Diablo?
El Diablo is your local burrito joint in Newark, Delaware, Wilmington, Pikes Creek. They have the best queso, the best burritos, best burrito bowls that you can get. It's if you're around in and around Newark, Delaware, or just in Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo.
They give you like a small baby.
For sure.
It's like a small baby.
The burrito is a small baby. Yeah. So.
I'm more of a bowl guy myself, but that thing is huge too.
It kicks Chipotle right in the dick. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, it's
cheaper too than Chipotle.
And real quick, I want to have Alyssa. Alyssa, what was your question for us as our weekly calling? Because I know your connection's not too good. Alyssa, you there?
IT problems.
Question about for us, Alyssa. You. I'm not sure if it's a problem with the connection. Alyssa, you there?
She's frozen. I've never seen that movie.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Anyway, I guess we'll try to add Alyssa back in a second. I know the connection's not too good. We'll try one more time, and then if it doesn't work, I guess I know what her question was, so I'll ask. Alyssa, you want to try one more time? What was your question for us? Yeah, I'm sorry, Alyssa. The connection's not working too well. But Alyssa's question that she did want to ask for us was, what is our prediction on the schedule that's coming out? How are we feeling about that? So I'll let you take this first, Jack. What's your prediction on the schedule? How are you feeling about it?
So you mean what the record's going to be? What I expect the record's going to be? Or just in general? I mean, I think it's going to be a nice schedule. I'm excited for the Vikings game. It's going to be a nice I don't know if it's a season opener, but super excited for that. And I think these boys will kind of gel together, and we will the first half of the season will be ours for sure.
Okay. I like that answer a lot. What are you thinking, Tommy?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, Dutch.
Jesus Christ, Tom. What are you doing?
What are you thinking about the schedule this season, Tom? What are you thinking about the Eagles' schedule?
They have one of the easier schedules. They have one of the I think it was the weakest I saw like in the division, of strength of schedule. So they definitely have the advantage. Dallas got worse this year, so it only helps us. But the only problem is I think Washington got a lot better, unfortunately, too. So I think that balances it out with in division. But in terms of playing teams out of our division, we definitely have it easier than everyone else.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Anyways, Alyssa, thank you for the call, and Alyssa, thank you for listening to our show. We do truly appreciate you and your support. But we're going to just roll into the show now. So our first topic of the night, boys, MVP got fucking snubbed.
Yeah, no, I'm going to All right, let me talk
Take
about
it,
this
Jack.
first.
Take it, Jack.
Yeah, so I was listening to your Up for Debate podcast, and your boy Vib said that Embiid was not deserving of MVP because he had other um, weapons around him, right? Well, yeah, we had James Harden, but he didn't play for the first couple games, and we have seen in the playoffs postseason that when he's on the court, we fold. Like, we're not a good team. Like, he is the heartbeat of the NBA Sixers, or I'm sorry, of the Philadelphia Sixers, and he really changes the game when he's playing. And I mean, we rely on him way too much, but he should have deserved the to win the MVP. I think he got robbed big time for sure. So
100.
Vib, you were absolutely wrong that if you're listening, that Embiid should not have deserved MVP.
I would agree with that assumption. I think that that's true. What are you thinking, Tom? I know that you're definitely going to have something to say about this. Jokic wins it.
Jokic officially won it as of what, like 2 hours ago, I think is what it officially came out as.
Yeah.
But we've known for a few days now. I hate that argument of, oh, well, Jokic has no one around him. The MVP award isn't a team award. It's an individual award. So stop looking at the whole team and look at the individual. What did the individual do? What does the individual bring to the team? Jokic, they're an average team with him. They're an average team without him. They have to take him out of their most important situations. And Joel Embiid, he's hitting the game-winning shots. Joel Embiid is playing that lockdown defense. And to quote Zumov, he's locking down all windows and doors for us. I don't see Jokic doing that. He doesn't. He knows how to pass a ball well. That's the only defense that all these Jokic supporters have for why he individually won it. His numbers, you have to go to like these they call them the second tier stats. Second tier that I had to like look up and find out their meaning that no one uses or looks at other than these stat nerds. And even a bunch of them on ESPN this past week said, I admit it, they don't actually watch the games. They just look at box scores. So why are these guys getting votes if all they're not actually watching basketball? They're just looking at numbers and box scores. I can do that. And why don't I get a vote then in the MVP award?
Go,
Let me
Tom.
ask
Let's
this:
go.
Is the MVP award from fans or as like the NBA as a whole?
Sports writers.
It's media.
Okay. I didn't know that. So
There's a bunch of sports writers that said this week they don't actually watch basketball games. They just voted based off of the box score. And then they saw Embiid play these past two series, and they're like, yeah, I fucked up.
big time.
I literally could not care less about the MVP. Who cares? Like, it's an award that nobody like. Who won the MVP in 2015? Like, who knows? Who won?
Maybe Steph Curry.
Who won the championship in 2015? Like the Warriors. Like, I feel like I would just like to make it out of the second round. Like, I would like to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals one time in my life. Like, I feel like that's what all Philly should be concerned about. Who cares? I like being disrespected. I like being like an underdog. Like, keep feeding us. We need to get pissed. We were distracted last night. They weren't like, I don't know. I would just like to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals like once in my life, like in my young person life, so I can enjoy like partying with my team doing well in the playoffs.
I agree with that. I think that's definitely a fair assumption to make. It's been pretty fucking depressing as a Sixers fan. I mean, like the MVP getting snubbed, I'm with Zach. Give us all the fucking juice you can. Disrespect us, count us out, all that shit. We're about it. But at the end of the day, the way they fucking played last night, that was not anything that I was about. That was disgusting. That was embarrassing. It was stupid. And honestly, in my opinion, they should be ashamed of themselves because that was just not a anything to be proud of. What was it, a 35-point game or something stupid like that? And I honestly saw a meme today that I agree with that said, what do you regret more about Ben Simmons? Him fucking over this team in the end or him being the reason that we got rid of Jimmy Butler, and now Jimmy Butler's doing what he's doing to us in the playoffs. Because imagine if Jimmy Butler and Embiid were playing right now, I would have no fucking doubt the Sixers would be in the Eastern Conference Finals, if not going to the finals, and probably winning this year in the depleted NBA. That's my take on it. What are you thinking, Declan?
Look, I mean, Jokic was the sexier pick. Like Tom said, it
Yep.
was all the stats, it was all that. But at the end of the day, it was who is the most valuable player. And that's Joel Embiid. This series has proved that. I mean, he is the most valuable player in the NBA to his team. There's no question about it. They're night and day without this guy on the floor. Even before the James Harden, after the James Harden trade, through it all, he is the most valuable player. And there's a problem with this. I don't want to diss sports writers, obviously, because I'm trying to become one. But the voting system is not great. I mean, it's, you get people that I've seen it, I've heard people's takes on it, and they are in local media. So they'll watch Joel play 68 games and then watch Jokic maybe play like 10 to 15. That's just, you can't form a solid opinion off of that. You have to be able to watch these people on a regular basis and not rely on things like, just their box score, because that doesn't tell the full story. It's a broken system. I don't know how it'll be fixed. With all that being said, right now, none of it matters. All that matters is game 6. Like Josh is saying, they need to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Everybody will instantly forget about this in June if everybody's walking down with the Larry O'Brien down Broad Street. That's, at the end of the day, that's what matters now.
Sixers in 7.
Has to be.
7, boys.
They got to win a game on the road, though. That doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon.
That's basically what our next topic is about,
Series
Declan.
do not start until somebody wins an away game. That's facts.
It's true.
Or you
true.
just lose all
I made
the.
this picture.
And it won't be game 6.
This picture's fire. Dalton with the graphic editing.
But I made this picture the other day, Zep, in hopes that the Sixers would win. They didn't. But anyway, I'll give it to our Sixers expert first. Declan, I mean, honestly, like Zep said, this game doesn't begin until an away game wins. Do you agree? Do you think that the Sixers, I mean, they're still in this? What are your thoughts?
Look, they got to show up game 6. That's the bottom line. And the biggest guy is James. I think it starts with him. Joel obviously did not – nobody had energy. Joel's got to bring more energy. There's no doubt about that. He's our star player for a reason. Like, he was probably the runner-up in MVP for a reason. Like, he is, as I said, the most valuable. But James has got to be that guy that he was in game 4 for us to have a chance. He's got to be that aggressive spark plug. Literally, James Harden, who's not aggressive, is just Ben Simmons all over again, and we don't need that. We all know we don't need that. We saw that Hawks series last year. That was terrible. Tyrese, as much as I love him, he's young. He's not going to be that second guy. So, but he's got to step up. And the second biggest right behind James Harden, Tobias Harris.
Yes.
He's got to step up. He's got to hit shots. Our role players have to hit shots. Everybody needs to show up game 6 in Philly. They seem to play really well at home in the playoffs. Let's hope that can be true. But if they show up game 6 and they get that win, they have to show up in Miami. And that just doesn't seem to happen. And I don't want to point the finger at Glenn Rivers, but we don't have to go there. We don't have to go there.
I thought Glenn's your boy.
Oh, yeah. No, I love Glenn, except that he's probably the bane of my existence. We literally, think about this. We went from Brett Brown to Glenn Rivers. You know how sad that is?
I
was
think
thinking
people
about that the
forget
other
that.
day.
I think people forget that we had like Brett Brown. Like this man was ass. Like he called it like a program. He thought he was coaching like a college team.
I thought Glenn was going to be pop compared to Brett Brown, and yet here we are. Like, this is just crazy, man. I don't have much else to say except they got to bring energy, and they got to be ready to go for game 6, and then they got to do it all over again in Miami.
Miami fans don't even show up to the game. Like, I get
their gym's like always packed, like, or not packed, not like it's empty.
It's
Like,
because
what the
everybody's
fuck?
on the Miami beach doing coke. Like, I wouldn't go to that.
Jesus Christ,
but like,
Zep, do you think that Miami or the Sixers actually have a legit chance at coming back?
I do, and I might be like being unrealistic, but here's why. Here's my reasoning. I think we win game 6 in Philly because we're in Philly, and we've only played one game in Miami with Embiid, and it was last night. And I don't care what Embiid says, he's a horrible liar. This man was obviously distracted about the MVP. And like the team just like had no energy. And like even without the whole MVP thing, I kind of get it. Because like the energy it took to win games 3 and 4 with like Embiid coming back, like it's an emotional toll. So I get that. So I think they're going to be like more focused tomorrow and win that game in Philly. And then I think they're going to show up in Miami and be like, you know what, this team's like ass. Embiid's actually going to be pissed. They're going to be like, there's no like fans here besides like DJ Khaled, who's like the poor man's Toronto Drake, like on the side. Like he's not the same. So I think we can win. That being said, I mean, I've never seen us get out of the Eastern Conference Finals or get out of the second round, like to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So history's not on our side.
Yeah. Josh is right. I don't know how I follow up Declan. Declan spit too many facts.
Spitting bars.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I know. Could have saved some for the rest of us. My God. But yeah, I see them winning at home. I don't see that. I don't know how they're going to do it. They've put up 3 embarrassing performances in Miami so far. Game 1, like, was okay. They kind of kept it close. Game 2, it was like, all right, they had a lid on their basket. And then games 3 and 4, 3 and 4 Philly. Game 5, I just don't know what that was. Like, I'm looking at the clock. I remember watching, and it's like 4 minutes left, and they're still at like 51 points in the third quarter. Like, that's what you should be at halftime. We're talking about near the end of the third quarter. So I just see it really, really hard for them to like win it, like actually win game 7. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but like it's kind of true. I really don't see them getting out of the second round. And just like Josh said, I think it's just another year of mediocrity and not getting past it.
Did you just say you hate being a Debbie Downer? That's like literally your role on this pod, Tom. Like, no offense. Like,
that's your job, dude.
Like, I would not, like, if I could describe you, I would not say you are the most positive of people, Tom, which is fine. I'm a pretty realistic person, too. But
So I don't know how the fuck you didn't know this was going to happen. We fucked up your Raptors. We didn't just, yeah, Cole, let's go.
LK's a Raptors fan and Cowboys fan.
Cowboys.
Yeah,
dude, Felke's the
He's
soup
the
can
epitome of
commercial that just gets
terrible
rolling.
fan.
Like, he just keep like kicking down the street. Like, this man's life is always just.
he's
down.
that. You've seen like those old Midwestern commercials, that tumbleweed. That's him.
Wait, what? Who was the guy? Who was the meme? The preppy school kid who got his picture taken, and it was
Jack
like
Gordon.
No, Jack. Jesus.
Some other D-bag, sorry.
It was a meme. It was like Bad Luck Charlie or something, but that's not. Never mind.
Oh, whatever. Well, my God,
I know what you're talking about, but I have
my
no
God,
idea what
last
you're talking
night was embarrassing. We couldn't pass the ball, kept turning it over. It was a pitiful job done by the Sixers. We need to step it up. Like Josh said, Embiid was definitely distracted that he didn't win MVP. You could clearly see it. So we need to win in Philly, and I think we can take it and win it in
Dude,
Miami.
it's this kid. That's Felke. Bad luck, Brian. Bad luck, Brian.
No, they
I
can
could
beat
see
him in
that.
Miami. Just
But
will.
everybody, it is time. I guess last night was a real fucking bad luck Brian night for Philadelphia sports. We pretty much got fucked over in every category besides the Flyers draft pick, the Phillies, and the Sixers. The Phillies lost a close one.
I'll fully admit that.
To that in 1 second, but right now it's time for everybody's fucking favorite part of the day.
Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Dinger Stitch.
A lot of dingers lately, a lot of mediocrity. I mean, I'll let our expert take it first.
Seeing this team on Sunday twice, yes, I stayed for both games of the doubleheader. It was great the first game. I didn't have that many Mets fans around me. Then we cleared out, and all the Mets fans were around me. And can I just say, they're a bunch of assholes. Mets fans are just big, big assholes. Girls, what you call it? Pete Alonso. Oh, he hit his first home run. Mets fans started spitting at Kyle Schwarber. And then they're wondering why he's not coming over, handing kids out baseballs like in between innings. Like he was like all of game one, and he was in game two for the first two innings until people started spitting at him. I'm like, Mets fans are trash. But to get to the bigger point, sorry, I just had to say that. They need to be like consistent, and there's just no consistency with this team. Last night they should have beat the Mariners. There's the game ended 5-4, and they called a guy safe when Reese Hoskins caught the ball, and then the runner like smacked the ball out of Reese Hoskins' glove after he already got him out. And then the umpire just randomly called him safe. So they should have won last night. They can thank Bob Miller for that one and screwing up that call. But they looked great against the Mariners these last 3 days. The offense finally came back to life. Now they got to play the tough Dodgers coming up. They're already way down in this division. They need to hope for the Mets to go on a skid. Mets have traditionally always been good in May, so hopefully June comes and brings the breaks to them. And the Braves are obviously going to be good all year, and we're just hopefully turn it around. Like it's been a very mediocre and very poor start to the season, to say the least.
Like Tom, you said, it's Philly sports. We're super inconsistent. We can't win games in a row, being Sixers, Eagles, Phillies. But I mean, your boy Hoskins hit a grand slam tonight. They won 4-2. So I guess it was payback from last night. But I mean, yeah, the Phillies. I'm not. This is not my cup of tea. But I mean, come on now. Like we need to step it up. Like I said previously, we have all the players that we should make us a successful team. And I mean, we're not that far back. We're in second place, and the Mets are always our kryptonite. So we need to figure out what we can do. And like Tom said, the Dodgers are a hard team. So we'll see how this series goes. But hopefully, we fix something. And I'm surprised that Joe Girardi is still the manager. I mean, come on now. He should have been fired after they blew that 7-1 game.
He got tossed in the first inning. I was surprised. The first pulse check of him took a month and a half, and we finally got a pulse check at a job.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, we'll see. Hope for the best, prayer for the worst.
Nah, the month of May is absolutely brutal for the Phils. It's Dodgers, then Padres, then Dodgers again, then Braves, Mets, and Giants to close out. Like, they're going to have to survive in advance here. They're going to have to take wins where they can. They just can't play sloppy, which is probably going to be asking a lot at this point. But they're just going to have to survive May. I don't think we can do anything but try and keep, their heads above sea level and try not to get too far behind the Braves and the Mets, because that's ultimately that's the big competition for this year. The Marlins and the Nats just aren't there, especially the Nats, which are kind of surprising. I felt like they would have been a little better, but I'm sure they will get better toward the end of the season. But yeah, they need to get to June, man. They're looking forward to June, I'm sure.
Only 2 more weeks. 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh,
do you have any thoughts?
Dutchy, you're on mute.
I am happy that Reese Hoskins hit a grand slam today because, as previously stated, I have his jersey, and he's the homie.
Needs to be traded for some pitching at the trade.
All right, you know what, Tom?
Nobody's going to want to trade for
one damn second, Tom. Can you
said his job is being Debbie Downer, so you told him that.
See, Tom, you're right, though.
Being Debbie Downer.
You're right.
That's being excited for some value out of my team.
He needs to be traded, but nobody's going to want to trade for him. And nobody's going to want to trade for him.
Who can't go past the damn second round.
Yeah, that actually does make me sad, but Cole says we need to pitch.
I
disagree. I think if you just have a team on baseball of all hitters, no defense, just get up there and hit dingers.
That's technically what we have, right? And they still can't hit. It's a whole thing. Let's move on.
Lean on me
when you're not around.
And I'll be your friend.
Lean on me.
You guys killed that. Thank you.
How much did everyone have to drink before this?
Yeah.
Not too much, but I'll take this first. Lean on me when you're not strong. Oh, I'm excited for this shit. These two playing in college together, I'm very, very hyped for it. And the fact that these two are, I don't know how friendly they were in college, because it kind of seems like they were like friends, but they weren't like friends. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like you have friends that like you can be super real with? I feel like I don't know. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative Nelly. But when you hear them talk about it, they're like, yeah, we communicated on the field. We did this, we did that. It's not like the A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, you know, or A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith connection I feel like they have. So at the end of the day, I think they'll be fine. It seems like it's a strictly business relationship, and I kind of like that. And it sounds like from what Jordan Davis said, hey,
Kyle Scott.
Kyle Scott, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining. But it sounds like from what I have heard, Kobe Dean is a pretty good signal caller in Jordan Davis's opinion, and that means a lot to me to hear that. So I'm really, really excited to see these two play together, to see these two evolve together. And I think I'll say it again, and we'll get to the linebackers in a second, but Nakobe Dean was by far the biggest fucking steal of the draft. And so was the tight end that they took, Grant Calcutta, or whatever the fuck the kid's name is.
The guy from
what are
Kansas.
you thinking about this? Yeah, you got it, Tom. Ole Miss or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
About this,
I think this is good because I'm not sure if you saw a few, like, the only college football outside of Penn State I watch is the college playoff. We are Penn State.
We are.
But watching those two college playoff games this year, if you watch it, Nakobe Dean, I mean, he kind of like led that all, like, I almost said offense, defense, in the sense of he's literally lining guys up, making sure they're in place to make the best plays possible. That's what makes me excited about Dean is he's got the skill, he's got the ability. Is he a smaller guy? Yes, but he's so smart. Like even though he's the smaller guy in this graphic, we're leaning on him to use his brain to make everyone around him better. No, we're not leaning on Davis. We will lean on Davis, I think, and as he progresses. Do I think we're going to lean on him this year? No. I think they're going to do the rotation, which is going to save Davis. He'll get it, but he'll get his this year because of that rotation and mixing guys in and out. Now, the tight end I thought was great. I like our Nebraska Cornhusker and how he wrangles up Cal still. We love that.
Jesus.
So that's my piece.
Yeah, no, I was watching. I think he's an ex-NFL scout. He was saying that he sees Nakobe Dean as the next Ray Lewis.
Whoa.
Whether I believe that or not, I don't know. But that was a pretty bold statement for a scout to say that. He's going to be the heartbeat of that defense, calling shots. And we kind of need that communication that we haven't had on defense in a while. I mean, Singleton, he did some communication, but not as much as, we're going to definitely rely on this kid a lot. And I don't think Jordan Davis is going to get that many touches the first couple of games. I think they're going to kind of slide him in here and there. But, this defense is going to rely on Nakobe Dean, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. But I'm excited to see this kid play, these two kids play, and see what they can do for us. I think it's going to be it's a huge steal that we got him so late in the round. But I'm excited.
Definitely that Ray Lewis thing. I hadn't heard that. That's crazy.
No, I was watching videos on him, and this guy was like, "Yeah, he's the next Ray Lewis." Point blankly said, "Next Ray Lewis."
That's crazy. If he can come even close to that, that's going to be a huge win for the Eagles going forward. And that was the one thing we said about Singleton and what's his name, the other guy, the other linebacker,
TJ Edwards.
Yeah, that was the thing we've been saying all season, was that if they could just have that like intuition and their athleticism, like their two skills combined into one human. And that's exactly what it seems like they got with Nakobe Dean. So if he can be, any like semblance of what they're expecting, that would be incredible for them. And I mean, Jordan Davis is just a beast, man. He and Sweat on the inside of any defensive line is going to give so many headaches. And then you got Reddick coming on the outside, like, that's terrifying. It's going to be really, really good. Secondary, obviously a question mark, but if you have those guys up front and then you've got Dean in the back, like commanding the defense, it's going to be hard to throw the ball in the first place. So, it'll be fun to watch on every week except 2.
Has everybody taken this question?
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
Josh, you want to take it?
Literally. It doesn't matter if Marcus Epps is our safety. Like, it doesn't matter what our front seven can or can't do if that dude's back there trying to get the batted balls that are D-line tips. So until we saw that little oopsie in our secondary, I'm still kind of worried about our defense.
Well, Zach, you actually bridge us into our next topic perfectly, too.
His butt cheeks. Not our next topic. Marcus Epps' butt cheeks is what I meant.
But what are your expectations for the linebacker position next year? I mean, it's completely revamped.
Oh, I say about 50% of them probably get hurt before the first game. Just
all right, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
No, I mean that's just.
And I'll be down.
Good lord!
I'm just saying that is history repeating itself. No, I think TJ Edwards is like gonna play his usual role where he plays some special teams, yada yada. I think Nakobe Dean's gonna ball out. I think Reddick is gonna get to the quarterback a lot in that like that quarterback rush position he plays in. And I have little hopes for the rest of them. Davion Taylor, I feel like he's
Even White?
Yeah. I mean, didn't he play at Kansas?
I forget where he played.
Yeah, he played at
Doesn't
Kansas.
matter where he fucking played. It's how he
Didn't
played.
Troy play at UD? That would be something.
Josh,
that
that was the most terrible comparison because it doesn't matter how he played in college; it's how he played in the NFL. And he was a beast.
AB play at Central Michigan?
Josh, you're really smart, but that was really stupid.
I mean, not really.
He played for Maryland football.
Kansas is like, I would not draft any Maryland players. Did you watch us this year? We're booty cheeks. It's like the same reason nobody drafted any Texas players, because Texas is ass and they're not back, and they haven't been back in like 15 years.
I don't know.
Fair.
I think Vince Young's going to make a comeback this year.
You seem to be high on Kaiser White, and you questioned Zepp on that. Why did you question Zepp on White? Are you confident in White?
He's better than anyone. This is the most excited I've actually somewhat been of this linebacker position in years. It's got to be better than Nate Jerry or Singleton.
No,
actually,
we don't say that guy's name.
Well, hold on. That's what we have to compare it to. The Super Bowl year was like the last year we actually had somewhat decent linebackers. With Michael Kendricks and all them.
Before the insider trading.
Before the insider trading. I mean, or at least before we knew about it. He was still probably doing insider trading then too.
Yeah.
But you got competent talent there now. Like you have TJ Edwards, you got Kazir White, you got Nakobe Dean, you got Reddick. Like, what's there not to be excited about? All these guys are studs. And I'm sorry that Josh thinks he can play a better linebacker than him. I'm sorry he's used to seeing Maryland football all the time. But we actually have decent linebackers.
I'm sorry that I got 5 yards and Josh got 0 yards.
And you know what, Josh? And you know what, Josh? I watch Linebacker U, and Linebacker U has taught me these guys are studs.
But you didn't go to Penn State. And Jack, I'm sorry I can grow facial hair. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Jack, if you need to come back, just tell them about what you did at Linebacker U on the beach this summer.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't Josh. That was Slugy. If I fucking ran that bitch over. Holy shit.
That wasn't this summer. It was 2 summers
Oh
ago.
shit, my bad. No,
you got to run it back this summer.
Come at me. At least get your facts straight.
Josh, I'm still gonna take you and just dunk on you when we play basketball. But no, I'm super excited about this linebacking core this year. There's a lot of talent that we have and we haven't had in a while. Kazir White, I watched some film on him when he played for the Chargers, and he was a stud. And Reddick, haven't really seen Reddick that much, but I mean, this is our strongest linebacker core that we've had in years. I'm excited to see what happens. We have a lot of field generals out here on this squad that we definitely need some kind of direction to go. So I'm excited to see what they do. And I mean, we have somewhat whatever. We have, a strong front line. Our linebackers are semi-good. So I think our front, 7, will be really good this year.
All right. Fair. I think that my expectation for linebackers is going to be fucking dope. The Eagles are going to be really, really fucking good at linebacker. Like Tom said, I'm very, very excited for it. The most excited I've been in years. I love Kazir White. I love what he did for the Los Angeles Clippers. Mike on the mic. NFL Mike. If NFL Mike, if you're watching this.
Dog, you said LA Clippers. Hope you know that. Dumbass.
The LA Chargers. He used to play for them, and he had a great year last year. Won too many at Timothy's.
What's his 3-point percentage?
Anyway, Nakobe Dean, Kazir White, Hassan Reddick, TJ Edwards, a.k.a. BJ Edwards. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be really, really loaded at this position next year. And on the second level, the first level of the Eagles for years has been good, our trenches. I'm very excited to see the second level of our defense improve. Holy shit. Could you imagine if we got a safety next year? Man, we would have all 3 levels improved. I don't know. I'm very, very excited for this next year.
Could you imagine that Byron Matthew?
I would have.
Hey, I mean, not to bring up, college football teams again, but that Temple Tough connection is going to be dirty for the linebackers in the Eagles. I mean, you've got Hassan Reddick coming in. He's going to be really good right off the bat. He's a guy that can play at an all-pro caliber level, and is just getting started. And then a guy that nobody's mentioned so far, Sean Bradley. I feel like Sean Bradley is going to take a huge step this year. He showed great progress toward the end of the season last year. I think this is the year that he really steps up and shows who he is and who he can be. That would be my bold prediction for linebackers. But no, I think the biggest thing is they're good and they're deep, and that's crucial, especially down the stretch in a season where everybody's beat up. You got to have guys that can rotate in and play at any level, and they have a lot of guys that specialize in a lot of different things. So it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting to watch, and I'm going to be watching for my cherry and white guys to see how they do.
Yeah, it's definitely completely revamped.
I feel like the only big step Sean Bradley's taken is towards the IR list. That guy is due for an injury, let me tell you.
He gets hurt.
What's with you being such a Debbie Downer now? I don't want to hear that I'm a Debbie Downer.
All of our
he plays so well, though.
He is.
When he stays on the field, he's real good.
I want to let somebody take this first. The guy who's actually the first person who sent this to me. Yeah! Tommy, I know you love to see this shit.
I do love to see this shit. Dude was blocking his own damn cattle and cows out in damn Nebraska with this damn horse.
Isn't cattle and cows the same shit, Tom?
What? There's actually a little bit of a difference. Cattle's like a broad term where there's also oxen, there's all sorts of stuff. Whereas as a cow is a very specific type of cattle. So
I was not expecting that from Tom.
There you go.
He did his research.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I just made that shit up. Just sound that could be completely false.
Cam Jurgens, though, Tom, do you think Cam Jurgens is gonna eventually be Kelsey's replacement, and then we'll put Landon Dickerson on the inside?
This is what I think. History has shown guys that have strange training patterns do great. Look at Rocky Balboa. The man used meat to train.
Fictional
and
character.
He won a heavyweight boxing title.
Fictional character.
Shut up, Josh.
Juggles knives.
Let me keep going. Hey, Walter Payton now. used hills and had to use surgery to fix his legs because he was training too hard up those hills. My man is training with cattle. He's going to be able to block them big boys down in the trenches, and I expect him to be my good center. He's fast. He's athletic. He is Jason Kelsey's replacement. Dickerson can't move as well as this guy, so I expect Dickerson to remain at guard, actually, and have this guy take over because he can be that speedy center and sort of do exactly what Kelsey does.
And that was really all I wanted to say about that topic. I did want you to take it because I know that you're the one that sent it to me. But now
It's
we're
goddamn Nebraska. They can't afford blocking dummies, so they had to use cattle.
Yeah, but think about it, that's even better than blocking
You could have
dummies.
just made it out of corn, man.
That's what it looked like in that video.
I know, it was hilarious.
It was amazing. And I'll let you take this one first too, Tommy, and then we'll go round robin. The NFC East prediction, who's your winner? Give us all 4 teams ranked.
Go Birds are number 1, of course. Or Birds easily take the division this year because of strength of schedule.
Commanders number 2 because
Commanders number 2. Hold on. Besides Carson, they upgraded Heineke. He's a great backup. He can't play a full season. So they upgraded big time at the quarterback position with Wentz. Wentz can play a full season. We know that. We've experienced it. Danny Pex is coming in dead last. And Dak, oh my God. And somebody cry whenever I can't figure out that I shouldn't run up the field with 14 seconds left. And when I can't clock the ball, I'm just going to blame it on the referees and then have my trash fans and throw what they are at the referees and then say, all the Eagles fans are close. Like, yeah, right. Hey, I never want to hear about Eagles fans throwing snowballs or batteries ever again when Dallas fans were literally throwing trash, debris, anything they get their hands on at the referees and their own players in the playoffs. Never want to hear it again. That being said, they're coming in 3rd place this year and missing the playoffs. Strictly because they have the hardest schedule in this division, and they've regressed as a team. I've said my
point. I disagree, but I don't agree. I'll kick it to the Giants fan next.
Yeah, we're not making the playoffs. We'll probably win 5 or 6 games, and I'll be happy about that. You know
Who's
what?
your coach this year?
It's Brian Dable.
Okay.
He was the offensive coordinator for the Bills.
Good hire.
Yeah, no, very good hire.
Great.
Joe Shane has been unbelievable too, but they just have so much dead cap that they haven't been able to go out and get like the guys that they need really. So they just had to cut Bradberry the other day. What'd you say?
Are they still paying off Victor Cruz?
No, they're paying off like Logan Ryan and Nate Soldier's revolving door, offensive lineman. And now they had to cut Bradberry too. So it's like they had $30 million in dead cap this year. They don't have the roster they want. They'll probably come in 4th, but they'll win a few games and they'll look decent. All right. And I'll be fine with that. Meanwhile, Eagles will probably win the division. They have a nice schedule. They have a good team. They just need to play to the expectations. If they can do that, they'll win the division. I don't believe in the Cowboys or the Commanders. They'll fight out for 2nd and 3rd. I believe more in the Commanders' defense than I do the Cowboys, though. So
I agree with that
too. But I don't think Carson can play a full season anymore. That's where I disagree with you, Tom. He can play a full season before he blew up his knee twice in a row. Like, I just don't believe in him yet, man.
He played all last year.
Yeah, but not well.
Yeah, I mean, he played okay, but like at the end of the day, I hear your point, Declan. I think that it's more mental than physical for Carson at this point, and mental is worse. But at the same time, I do think that the Commanders are probably going to get 2nd in the division this year because besides Carson Wentz, they are just loaded with talent all around. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I do like their defense better than I like Dallas's, like you said, Declan. So for me, it goes Eagles 1, Commanders 2, Cowboys 3, and Giants 4. But the Cowboys, I mean, I think that the Eagles are probably going to go like – here's what I would say. The Commanders, I think, would be the better team, but the Cowboys might have the better record, if that makes sense. Just because the Commanders, I think, are more reliant on QB wins for their wins, where Dallas, you know what you're getting with Dak. It's just Dallas isn't as complete as a team, but Dallas has a better QB, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So number 1, Eagles, number 2, Commanders, number 3, Cowboys, and number 4, Giants for me. What are you thinking, Jackson?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the boys in green. I'm going to go with the Eagles number 1. I'm going to go with the Commanders 2, Giants 3, Cowboys 4.
I was just going to say that.
Because, yes, Giants are a good team, but they got somewhat better this offseason.
They got a lot better.
So, I mean, like Tom said, the Cowboys definitely regressed the most out of the NFC East. I don't really see them doing too much, but I definitely see the Eagles 1, Commanders 2, and then Giants 3, because I think Saquon's is gonna stay healthy this year, have a breakout season. Danny Dimes is gonna go off, and we'll see what happens.
And Jack, real quick, while I have you on the screen before you hop off, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
What is going on, my guys? Tonight, for trivia, we got who has had the most single-season sacks for the Eagles? Who has had the most single-season sacks for the Eagles in one season? The answer will show you guys at the end of the show. But in the comments, please give your opinion on that, and let's see if you guys can get it right.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jack. Who has had the most single-season sacks? We will find out. Zep, last but not least, on the NFC East predictions, what are you thinking?
I think the Eagles are definitely the best in the division. I think the Cowboys definitely became the worst, but I still think the Cowboys are going to finish second, then the Commanders in third, then the Giants in fourth. That's all before I see each team's schedule, so that is possible to change. But here's my hot take. I think the NFC is so bad this year. I think the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all make the playoffs.
Wow.
The NFC South is getting one team in, right? Like, that's the Bucks. Like, that is just an ass conference. The NFC North, I really think it's just going to be the Packers.
And maybe Vikings. Maybe.
I don't think. I would take the Bears before I take the Vikings, to be completely
honest.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that.
And then I think the West Coast, you're going to have the Niners and you're going to have the Rams.
You don't think the Cards will be back?
No, I don't even. They're not a team to me. I hate Cliff Kingsbury.
So apparently we play the Cardinals week 1 in Arizona.
Was that on league?
It's not official yet. It will be official tomorrow. But Alyssa, just from the podcast, just messaged me that apparently we play the Cardinals week 1.
Oh, damn
in
it.
Arizona.
Cliff Kingsbury does his best coaching in like the first 5 weeks of the season.
I
love how the NFL just teases us. Like,
it is
why are they giving us one game at a time? So stupid.
Should we let the Giants fan take this first? I mean,
come on, bro.
I'm sorry, but I mean, you guys did save a lot of money in cap on the bright side. That is true.
Whatever. I'm so mad we had to let him go. He's so good. He's gonna give whatever team a lot of good years. I'm so mad. If the Eagles sign him, which I don't think they will, for whatever reason, like I don't see them doing that. But if they do, I'm gonna be so mad, dude. I'm gonna be so mad.
I hear that.
Most free agents we signed from the Giants don't work out. So the OG Steve Smith, he didn't work out. I feel like there's another one I'm missing, but
Victor Cruz, he didn't work out.
We didn't sign him.
Yeah, there's no way he signed with the Eagles.
Who did we sign with the Giants again? The wide receiver, Golden Tate. That's it.
Golden Tate caught the touchdown against the Bears in the playoffs.
Yeah. And he went to the Giants after he signed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was Mario something.
Bradberry, I think we signed this homie to a cheap 1-year deal, and he's obviously better than Steven Nelson. and I don't see any way in which it doesn't work out until he obviously gets hurt, which will happen. But I think we still sign.
Didn't Steven Nelson sign with another team already?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Texans.
Steven Nelson was like good last year, but like Bradberry's definitely an upgrade.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Bradberry is a cornerback, like the number one cornerback on, I'd say, over half the teams.
Then why did you guys let him walk out the door?
Because we just physically could not pay him.
Paying with all their rookies.
All that Gettleman dirty money.
Yeah, it's because we're paying Nate Soldier $8 million a year to stand there and let people run by him. We don't.
The Giants are the Mets of the NFL.
Yeah, but we've had success recently, which is nice.
Saluch, what are you thinking about this kid?
We need a second corner. This is a no-brainer. Howie, go get him. Whip up whatever snake-like story you gotta do so it knocks his value down, like you did with Nakobe Dean. Because let's be honest, we know Howie was the leaker of those false rumors about Nakobe Dean's health. He can probably do the same thing about Bradberry to knock down his health or knock down his value just a bit. And then we get him, and it's like, oh, I don't know why the Eagles were the only ones that gave me a somewhat decent offer. And then it comes out like 4 weeks later and how he screwed over everyone. Fine by me as a fan because then it just means we win. But yeah, I want this guy. Let's bring him on. And then hopefully Devon Wallace can have a miraculous epiphany of a season all at once. So then it just all comes together magically somehow, some way. That's the hoping, though.
Yeah, no, I want this guy to come to Philly, sign him for a year. And then he's going to fall in love with the city of Philadelphia and then sign him for another extension. We definitely need this this guy, especially him being such a really good cornerback. So, hey, Howie, pull some strings and bring this guy to Philly. He's going to love it. And I just want to honestly, I just want to want him to come to Philly just to rub it in Declan's face, to be honest. Not going to lie.
Yeah, you would. You would love that.
I would.
A little bit of inner podcast rivalry right there. I mean, I like Bradberry. I do like your point, Jack. Like you said, sign him. He likes Philadelphia, and we give him an extension. He would remind me of more of a veteran presence. Like Darius Slay, I don't know if they'll sign again after this contract just because he'll be older, and Darius Slay's a really good player, so I think he'll still want a lot of money. Bradberry, I think, is the type of player at 28 years old that you can kind of bring in that role where he comes in as a veteran corner, kind of helps these younger guys out and develop, but he's also still that number 2 guy. You have Slay for the next, 2 or 3 years, and Bradberry comes in and fills that role as the number 2. Because Nelson already goes to the Texans. I personally thought that the Eagles maybe should have looked at signing Nelson again because I didn't think he was that horrible last year, but, I mean, it is what it is. And that bridges us into our final Eagles topic of the night, gents. Last but not least, the theme of tonight's show. What are our season expectations for Jalen Hurts next season? And I will let Mr. Jackson take this one first. There's a lot of over-unders up here. Feel free to speak on any of them.
I'm going to say under 4,000 passing yards. I'm going to say over 25 passing TDs. I think with the weapons we have at wide receiver now, it's a no-brainer that we should have all these TDs, and he needs to – hopefully this offseason he worked on throwing the ball and making good decisions because, like I said, we have all these weapons now at our receivers that, I mean, we should have around 40 – he should have like 40 passing TDs or some crazy number like that. I think he's going to go a little over 1,000 rushing yards because he's more of the rushing quarterback. I think it's go under rushing TDs. And I'm gonna have the glass half full, and I'm gonna say over 1 playoff win.
Ooh, he's feeling confident in it, baby.
Like I said, he just needs to play a lot better than he did last season because he was just awful at decision making.
I'm going to go under 4,000 passing yards, under 25 passing TDs, over on the rushing yards. I'm going to go under on the rushing TDs. I only say that because he has a tendency of he can get close to the goal line, but he never finishes when his big run. And then he has a running back finish off
Say
the
that
run.
slow time. Say that slow time. Oh
He
yeah.
has a tendency of letting the running back finish off the run.
Oh
With
yeah.
that big, sexy
Terrible.
6-point. Big.
Oh my god! Can we kick it to Zeb now?
Wait, Tom. What about the
And-
playoff win?
A playoff win. I'm gonna be an optimist here. I think over 1.
All right, Zeppy.
He's a Debbie Downer. I can already tell.
Under 4,000 yards passing, under 25 pass touchdowns, under 1,000 yards rushing, over 8 rushing touchdowns, and over 1 playoff win, which is the only stat that counts.
Correct.
True.
Wow. That was a lot more positive than I thought it would be.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had a
you
slow
sum that
roll.
up really fucking quick.
I'm not positive or negative. I'm just a realist.
But as for Dalton, it's for fantasy, bro. You mean it's gonna about fantasy? It's big if he goes off. It's for fantasy. That's a big deal, right?
It's a fucking big deal. So shut the fuck up because it does mean something. There are some stats to it, but over 4K passing yards, under. He'll be under. Like he'll be like 3,500 passing yards. I would say 23, 22 passing touchdowns. I would say definitely over 1,000 rushing yards. I think next year is the year that he seems like Kyler Murray was 2 years ago. I think over
What, short?
touchdowns, 8 or 9 rushing touchdowns is not short. And then playoff win. I'll be an optimist too. Let's hope that maybe we can get a playoff game in Philadelphia.
Say
If
that
we're
again,
lucky, boys.
because you kind of broke
Over 1 playoff win, motherfuckers.
Okay, so like
Hey.
Hey, puppy.
I'm gonna roll under 4,000, probably just barely. But I'll go over 25 tutties, over 1,000 yards, under 8 rushing. And honestly, if they get the 3rd seed or higher, I'll guarantee over 1 playoff win. Because that means they probably won't play either the Niners or the Rams, whoever loses that division. And they'll be probably better if they win the division. So I'm going to roll with that.
Thank you, Declan.
I'll say over.
One person that didn't take this. Who is it?
we all went.
That's it.
Yeah.
When? All right, cool. Time for our fun topic of the night, boys. Last but not least, guys, you can pick 3 of these. It doesn't have to be anything on the screen, but basically, I don't want it to be like, chicken or like whatever. Favorite snacks. I put foods up there, but favorite snacks strictly. I'll go first because I was prepared for it. I'll give you guys a second to think. But if I could keep 3 snacks for the rest of my life, Jack knows
Jalapeno Cheetos.
jalapeno Cheetos. I love them. They're really good. I do love the Cheetos snack mix. The Lay's chicken and waffle chips are good, but if I had to pick 3 snacks for the rest of my life, it would probably be the cheddar jalapeno Cheetos, the Cheez-It snack mix, because you're getting multiple snacks in the snack mix. So, I mean, if you really want to be an OCD person, you can sort them out. And then if I also had to pick a third, this is kind of tough for me, but as a snack, I mean, I would consider probably say popcorn, like movie theater popcorn, like just popcorn you put in the microwave. Yep, easily.
Fuck
So
popcorn.
that's a 3 for me.
I know. Josh is one snack that's up there that he's gonna say.
Yeah, you do. I'm
Josh,
that guy.
next.
I'm that guy.
Pretzels.
All right. So it's the Hers extra thin 1 pound
Oh,
pretzels.
those go hard.
Yeah, that's my favorite snack of all
Those
time.
go hard.
Number 2, I'm gonna say Oreos, obviously. And I'm like, some people are like,
Good
I
answer.
don't like double stuffed Oreos. It's too creamy. I don't care. I'll take any Oreo you give me.
I'm sure
Number
you
3,
double stuffed.
Tommy
Double
is
stuffed.
the guy. And then number 3 is Party Mix, because that stuff is addictive.
Yes, great answer, Zep.
Yeah, so those are the 3. Anything else, you're just a child. Yeah.
All right. I like it. We'll kick it to Jackson next.
Okay, top 3, baby. Popcorn off the list. Fuck it. That's only for good for a movie. I'm not watching movies in my life.
Agreed.
That's off my list, 100%.
My teeth.
Number one on my list is Doritos nacho cheese. chips because
Good.
those things hit hard, especially watching any kind of sports event. Oh my God. Sitting back, pounding a whole bag of Doritos. That's my shit. And also the guy in my fraternity designed the logo for Doritos. So that's cool. Right. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Welch's fruit snacks. Those things are so good.
They're good.
Underrated.
They're very underrated. Very
I
underrated.
agree.
And then number 3, I'm gonna go with Josh. I'm gonna go with Party Mix. Party Mix is the shit. Party Mix makes me want to have a party in my mouth.
The only issue is you
Oh my
can't
God.
eat it at one time. Like you just
No.
keep coming back to it.
Exactly. So that's mine, baby.
All right. Tommy?
All right. I have a very different take than most of you boys. So I'll start with one that's very, very much on brand with you boys. It's got to be the Hers sweet and sour, sour cream and onion. Sorry.
Green bag. Green
The
bag.
green bag. Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
Sour
good
cream
answer.
and
Good
onion
answer.
Chips has to be Hers though. It can't be any other chip brand. Every other one's trash. Next one, butterscotch crimpets from Tasty
From
Cake.
Tasty
Oh,
Cake.
good
Dad.
answer.
Tasty Cake. Dad.
From Tasty Cake. And then me being the Italian that I am, my other favorite, I eat it like a snack. You might not think it's a snack, but I eat it like a snack. Hey, mozzarella cheese wrapped with prosciutto.
Oh, can you say that first word again one time for me?
Mozzarella.
Say it again slower.
Mozzarella.
Drilled it.
Mozzarella.
Also, I forgot to mention Grandma Nana's cookies. Those things are so good.
Nana's cookie brittle. Yes. Nana's
Yes.
cookie brittle. Zepp's grandma's cookie brittle is amazing. That is a top 5, if not 3 snack. That is amazing when it comes out, when we get it.
All right. I'm kind of bummed that this didn't come up because I feel like this is literally the greatest snack of all time. Give me Chex Mix all day, every day, bro.
You're right,
Which
Jason.
flavor
I could've
Chex
thought of
Mix?
that
Original, cheddar?
Homemade.
I like bold. Bold is my favorite one, but really you can't go wrong.
Dutch, I
mean-
have to bring you Loretta's homemade Chex Mix sometimes. Same with you, Declan. I gotta bring you
Oh.
Loretta's. It's so
Oh my
good.
God, that sounds incredible. But you can't beat Chex Mix, man. Like there's no way around it. You know, dread it, run from it. Chex Mix is the greatest snack of all time. Followed closely, by the way. I'm with you, Jack. I think Doritos are incredible. I like the purple bag best.
Oh yeah, the spicy sweet chili.
Spicy
Yeah,
sweet
those-
chili. Yeah. Love that.
fuck
And
with those.
then this one is a new one for me. I didn't discover this until like a few months ago. Shout out Fresh Grocer in Philadelphia. Love Fresh Grocer with my entire life. But I found these. They're called Good Health Veggie Chips. And oh my God, my roommates and I messed up like 4 bags of these in one night. And they're big bags. They are so good. It sounds very nerdy, but I promise you, you buy a bag of those, gone in 20 minutes.
Really?
Guaranteed. They're so good. Like you wouldn't expect it, but they're delicious. And I mean, look at me. I'm not the kind of guy that eats healthily. All right. But those are so good.
No, they look delicious. I love a good veggie chip, so I might have to pick them up. But yeah, guys, that's everything we got for y'all tonight. So I want to thank all 3 of these gentlemen and Josh and Alyssa for coming on the show tonight. That's all we really got for you. I mean, everybody have a good night. Without further ado, God bless. Go motherfucking birds. Peace.
Tommy's a cutie.
Jack is slim thick.